Hey, what's up, DCS Crew? Welcome back to the channel. It's not every day I get to review a knife that is encased inside of a tin. Artisan Cutlery sent over the Centauri straight through the Apex Passaround. Shout out to the Apex Passaround, by the way. And it came pretty bougie. It came in this tin. So I'm gonna go ahead and open that up. You get this over here. Put this bad boy to the side. And the knife is right. Wait a minute. Did I? What the hell is the freaking knife, dude? Oh, that's right. If you have been watching my my channel, I did some pocket real estate videos, and I actually already took it out because I've been carrying it these past couple of days. So this is going to be a review on the full-size Centauri from Artisan Cutlery. This is a frame lock knife with damascus steel and carbon fiber, titanium, and this is a Laconico design. So stay tuned, and we're going to go ahead and check this bad boy out. All right, guys, welcome back. Now, as I stated before, this is the Artisan Cutlery Centauri frame lock folder in carbon fiber with 3.5-inch Damascus blade. Well, damascus steel Damascus. Well, I'll say Damascus for right now. I don't recall what type of Damascus this was. I knew I was going to say, it was Damascus, and I was going to try and identify the exact pattern. I forget. So if you know, just go ahead and sound off in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and research it after the video because that's one thing I totally forgot to look up and research before I went ahead and I uploaded this. So I apologize. I'm sorry. It is what it is. So, yeah, so I've had this knife in my pocket for these past couple of days, and I have to be frank with you, this is actually the first time I have pocketed and actually EDC'd a knife with a Damascus blade. It's not that I don't like Damascus, it's just that, somebody tells me, well, I got a knife here that is worth $200 some odd, and it comes with a Damascus steel blade. And then, you can probably buy it for like 180, 170 with, M390 or S35BN, that sort of thing. I'm usually going to go for the M390, the S35BN for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's stainless. And number two, when you buy I can't do it like that. When you buy a Damascus blade, Damascus, just kind of putting it out there, and it doesn't have to do with the pattern, but let's just say Damascus as is. Damascus is basically a lot of different kinds of steels that are, basically squished together, and and the resulting forging of it and breaking it down and just, melding of it to the finished knife, it creates a bit of a pattern through the different layers of steel. And that's what causes that kind of patterning. Now, there are companies, I think there was, oh man, I don't remember the name, but I actually looked over a company during Blade Show that specializes in Damascus, and they do all different types of patterns. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna go back to that video and see if they probably have this pattern, because they probably do. And I just think it's really cool. And another thing, one thing that I really enjoy about Damascus is watching it being worked on. My girlfriend and I were watching Forged in Fire during the whole quarantine period, and I mean, surprisingly enough, she is utterly fascinated with that show, and I'm like, oh my god, sweet baby Jesus, thank you. Because they were actually going over stuff like O1, tool steel, and then they actually went over an entire show on Damascus, and they had these people forging Damascus blades for all types of things. I mean, swords, knives, kukris, you name it. And I thought it was really cool how they were coming up with all these different patterns, using all, cobbled together all of these different types of steel. So my thing with Damascus is, not only that, but it's it looks a little kind of, you know, bougie for me. If I'm going to be a working man and, you know, use it as a working man's knife, that really doesn't matter to me. But I think it's really nice, especially in this particular setup, because you have the damascus steel, you have the patterning in the carbon fiber, you have a nice sterile clip side. As you can see, even the clip doesn't have a screw that retains it from the outside. It would retain from the inside. You have 2 screws on this side with the pivot, and you have 2 screws on the other side, and basically this is taken apart. It's very, very nice. It runs super smooth. You can do it slow, or you can actually open it quickly. It opens, you know, quick, fast, and in a hurry in signature Laconico fashion. Artisan Cutlery did an extremely good job on this particular knife. I know that there are different versions of this, one being just about 3 inches, and that's the small version. I know they have a micarta variant, and they have the carbon fiber variant, and then they have the large version, the carbon fiber variant that you see before you right here, and a micarta version. So I'm going to just go ahead and do a quick once around so you can see exactly what it is that the knife looks like on all 4 sides. Top and bottom. Okay, so a couple things that I really liked about this. Typically when you have a Laconico knife, and I did touch up a lot of it on my pocket real estate video on this. If you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and check it out. Laconico loves to be able to go ahead and provide some type of maker's mark on his knives. Usually it is on the spine of the blade, right up here. He did that a lot with his Kaiser designs. Now, unfortunately, he didn't have that real estate, so what he did was he actually had it etched on the backspacer here, which was really, really nice. It says R Laconico, and then a little dot here, and it says Artisan Cutlery. It's pretty legit. I like that a lot. That is titanium, just like the rest of the back here, which allows you to be able to go ahead and do a variety of things in the back. You can do a really badass anodization. You can do a 2-tone anodization, even 3, because you can put this in one color, the clip in another, and then, you know, the backspacer in a third. Something to really consider. I've seen people do some really, really cool stuff with this particular knife. But moving on, another thing that I really like, and this is something that I first saw, if I'm not mistaken, with the Archeo from Artisan Cutlery, and I don't have Dylan Mallory's knife with me actually, yeah, I do. Okay. They usually create dedicated areas to be able to put the lanyard that is away from, you know, the actual knife itself, so that there isn't a threading that goes through the knife, and then you have to go ahead and sacrifice pocket real estate. Something that you need to consider on this one is that. So if you happen to have a lanyard that you want to put in here and you don't happen to see a lanyard hole, they do have a dedicated area here towards the back where you can slip some official paracord, you know, the man's paracord 550, and you can go ahead and slip it through there. It's not going to compromise the action of the knife, and then it's actually enclosed in an area back there so that the blade will never even touch it. So that's a nice little touch that he did as well. A lot of companies like and I don't have it here, but you know, say Spyderco. Spyderco has the Para 2 and the Para 3, and unfortunately their clip spacing is horrible because of the fact that they have to sacrifice some of the area and prime real estate on top because of the lanyard hole. And Artisan Cutlery and their subsidiary, the budget company CJRB, actually have found a really, really cool way to design their knives and not have to worry about that. You do see a little bit of a dip right here. It actually allows you to be able to go ahead and hold the knife, grip the knife in such a fashion that regardless of the fact that carbon fiber isn't as grippy as, say, micarta, certain versions of micarta and certain version of G10, you are able to get a nice little grip on this. Although I can tell you there is a little bit of texturing on this G10. And before I move on, I do want to say this is not G10 laminate. This is actual G10. You can feel it in the weight. The weight is actually heavier on the titanium side than the carbon fiber side. This is genuine carbon fiber, and it's really good quality stuff. So another thing I really liked is the fact that they don't ever use gaudy pivot screws. If you notice that even on the CJRB stuff, they use nice quality pivot screws. This one is rounded here. Typically on the CJRB ones, you're going to see something that's flat, like on this feldspar. So speaking of which, let me go ahead and do a little size comparison here. Full size Archeo, excuse me, full size Centauri, and that is the small feldspar. Wow, I am throwing my words around like, and I'm stumbling through this. I don't know what's going on, guys. I had way too many drinks. Okay, this is the Centros from CJRB. Awesome Dylan Mallory design. This is the QSP Penguin in D2. Okay, and what else do we have here? This is the Kaiser Sovereign in G10 with VG10. And to round it out, here is the Bestech Texel Adam Purvis design in G10 with D2. All right, so there you have it as far as a size comparison for that. Excuse me. And yeah, so in all honesty, this knife, it's hard for me to not like this knife. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into play here that I've never really known Artisan Cutlery to excel at. And I guess a lot of the reason why is because I've been looking at a lot of their, cheaper blades. I'd like to actually challenge CJRB and Artisan to come out with an actual version of this, even the 3-inch version, the smaller one, in a just a more budget model, G10 D2 steel, or even a 9CR, or even the 14C28N. I really hope that they'd come up with something like that. If they do, that thing would sell like freaking hotcakes. I mean, Damascus hotcakes, brother. And the reason being is because this is actually a very, very good, knife. I mean, I will tell you, between the two, if I had my choice of the 3-inch version or the full-size version, I've already held the 3-inch version because I had early access to it at SHOT Show when I met up with Russell at the Artisan and CJRB booth. I would choose the smaller version, and for the simple fact that because it is a frame lock and it's a front flipper, it takes a very minimalistic approach to real estate in the pocket. It's very, very thin inside of the pocket. It's a very, very thin knife, but actually feels good in the hand. And you don't have that issue where you're going to be running up against anything when you are dipping into your pocket. The back spacer is such that there's never going to be any blade that actually shows up here to be able to slice you. And if you look at how the blade ducks into the handle, there is absolutely no way, shape, or form it is going to cut you while you have it around. I mean, I really enjoyed that. One last thing I do want to say about this, and this is something that's present on both the small and the large versions. And let me see if I can get close enough to the camera to show this off. You see that texturing? No, on the titanium right here, it's nice and smooth. Okay, and then obviously the Damascus is smooth. But then when you look really close, look at that patterning on the titanium. That is just beautiful, beautiful machining. Guys, that is so badass. And that is such a nice, keen attention to detail. I'm sure that, everybody who picked up this knife and checked it out when it first came out, that finalized version, not the proto, but finalized version, and they saw something like that, they're probably like, God damn, this is nice. and I echoed those sentiments, because the truth is, this is really nice. I really cannot find fault in this knife. It's actually carried pretty well in the pocket, because even though this is not a deep carry clip, for what it is, it really carries well in the pocket. This is meant for something that's more, dressy, some, dress pants, khakis, office wear. This is a very nice gentleman's knife. And in all honesty, if you had the small one and you were able to get it on the secondary for a good price, or you just have a little money that you want to spend and you want to get something that's not from the US and that's, very high quality, guys, you really got to check this out. I'm serious. This is a very, very well made knife. I find no fault in this knife. The only fault okay. If I had to find a fault, it would be that you know, Artisan and CGRB, and this is just me being pedantic, okay? This is just me kind of like really pulling it out there for this. Artisan and CGRB are so used to coming out with badass budget style blades that when they come out with something that's a bit more expensive, it's a kind of like a sticker shock. So it's like you see this, and you know they're currently on Blade HQ for like a little more than 200. I think it's like 212 or something like that for the Damascus version. I'm sure the other ones are a little bit less, but say the Damascus version, you see that and you're like 212 bucks. No, I'm not buying that, because you're used to seeing stuff like Dylan Mallory's design, you know, going for super cheap. I think that this is going into like the mid 30s or something like that, you know, and then you get like the feldspar also. I mean, that's super cheap, great quality. Now granted, it's you know, it's G10 and D2, and this is carbon fiber frame lock, you know, titanium Damascus steel. But I mean, I guess it all boils down to that kind of thing that a lot of people like to talk about. It's that theory of the point of diminishing returns. How much do you pay for something, and how much satisfaction do you feel that you need to get to be able to justify how much you paid for something? I guess the fun factor or the value factor that's returned from the money that you paid for the particular knife. It's going to be difficult to justify it if you've never really held an Artisan Cutlery knife like this in your hand. I've seen them, so for me it's a little bit different, but for other people who don't have access to be able to see them at shows, you know, trade shows like, you know, Blade Show and SHOT Show, where I've been to and I've done, you know, coverage of Artisan and CGRB, you know, or just have local places that even, you know, stock these available, it's tough. It's tough, and I totally understand it, and that's why I love being a content creator, because having stuff like this available to be able to show to you guys and say, hey, you know, I've seen this when it was in pre-production, I saw this in the proto stage, I saw this when it was first unveiled, and now I have one in my hand and it's the upgraded version. Guys, this is really nice. I mean, if you're into a bigger blade and you're an office guy, get this. If you're into, you know, a smaller blade, like the 3-inch version, they have a small version, get it. You know, if you're restrictive to the blade length in your state, or, you know, in your county, your, you know, district, whatever you want to call it, get the small version. But they have they have the standard size version, which is this one. And then they have the smaller size one, you know, I mean, which is going to be a little bit cheaper, but, you know, I know that they have, you know, different variants of both. You got to check these out. I mean, you can check them out at White Mountain Knives, you know, Blade HQ, the usual suspects will have them. If you have a problem finding them though, give me a, just, you know, drop a comment down below, or you can hit me up on Instagram at Daily Carry Solutions. Hell, you can even reach out to me at my website. It's dailycarrysolutions.com. Just hit that message button, and you can send me just a private message with your email address, and I'll respond in turn from mine. And I'd be more than happy to point you in the direction. I don't get a penny out of referring any of this. I don't have any of those affiliate accounts, as long as it's not in Amazon. In Amazon, you know, affiliate accounts is like, I give you the link, you go ahead and you make the sale. They don't charge you any more or any less, and then a small amount of the profits goes to me because I helped refer you to that. But in any case, I don't have any of that here. So, I mean, I'll even, you know, forward you to Russ, the guy from Artisan Cutlery, and he can go ahead and tell you where to find that stuff, so you can get it straight from the horse's mouth, you know? Not calling of a horse, so if Russ, you're watching this, I apologize for that remark. He's a super cool cat, and you guys have been great. So I just want to go ahead and end it with that. Great knife. You guys really do need to check this particular knife out if you are interested in it, or if you just want to see something unique and different. I mean, with a stellar quality from Artisan Cutlery, guys. This is the Centauri, a Laconico design issued by Artisan Cutlery. This is a 3.5-inch Damascus version. And guys, I gotta tell you, whether you are carrying something badass like this, or just something budget like the Baztec Texel, just remember, guys, if you EDC, think of DCS. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. You guys have been great. I am tired, and yeah, I got a lot more stuff I gotta review for you guys, so I gotta go. Peace.